so like this is like rock and roll grad school with like your hosts Heidi Hedquist and Luke Poling, and like they've totally got the beat.
Hello, kitties. We are going to have a good time today because we've got the dead deads, or one of the dead deads. We have a dead. Is that what we would say?
Yeah, I think a dead.
Yeah.
Or is it a dead?
I don't know. I think dead. A dead member of the. I don't know.
No,
we're talking
alive.
But with the last name, it makes me think that.
I don't know.
We should have asked this. This could have been an entire interview. It's just this back and forth about how do we phrase this.
Yeah, but we spent time instead trying to find out what they would name us because we make it all about us.
Exactly. So we are talking with Daisy Dead, bassist, and I believe, what was it, trumpet player, I think
so.
From the legendary Dead Deads. They are right now on tour this week starting this week with The Darkness, which sounds like an amazing evening of face mounting guitar solos and the rest of it. And yeah, I think we're both actually looking at going to these shows in our proverbial necks of the woods.
Yes, mine will be the end of March, I believe.
And mine is the end of April. So you have that to hang over me.
Yet another thing to hold over.
Yeah.
Them.
Oh, wait a second. Heidi, do you hear that sound?
Is it Santa?
I wish it was. No, it's the sound of Eric Clapton being a dink.
Oh, again?
Again.
We're done with him.
I wish we were. So as most people know, our long-term listeners know, this is not a political show. However, in the past, I feel like 3 or 4 days, the cry has been growing louder and louder that bands have announced that they are not playing in Russia we will show you. Green Day posted a whole thing saying this is not about rock and roll, but this is what we can do, ergo we will be doing it. And then I've also seen a list of artists who are still currently booked to be playing in Russia and who've yet to issue a statement one way or the other. But joining Green Day are people like Louis Tomlinson from One Direction.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Louis from One Direction. He's
there. There you go.
Thank you. Iggy Pop has pulled out of a show he has scheduled in July. But Eric Clapton is not the only person. And I don't want to preemptively tar everybody with the dink brush, but we're leaning that way. So Bjork and a few other folks are similarly scheduled. Gorillaz have not announced what they're doing. I can't see either Bjork or any of the members of the Gorillaz being like, we should show up to this, unless it's like a contractual, we cannot get out of this.
Right. Or it's the date is scheduled far enough away that perhaps there is some settling.
The wait and see.
Right.
One can only hope. So that's our
but Eric hasn't said like, I'm there, I can't wait. Okay. So he's not that's okay. We can't quite. When is he supposed to play?
I believe it's May or June.
All right. So I feel like we can't dink him on this just yet.
But we should at least
it's like a pre-dink move.
Right. We want to just light that candle and start waving it in the air to just let people know.
Right.
Potentially even more dinkage coming. Are you in Nashville?
Yeah.
So how long have you been there?
Well, I grew up here. So
okay.
Yeah.
A while.
For a little while, but yeah, my family's here. Everything's here. So.
And you met the rest of the other Deads in Nashville?
Yeah. Our lead singer Tish Mehta, she and I have been friends for like 20 years. So yeah, I technically met her here. It's weird to think like we met, we were just friends. We didn't start that long ago. And then our drummer McQueen, she's in Huntsville, Alabama, and it was through a friend that knew her, knew we were looking for a drummer. And Huntsville's not that far away. It's like 2 hours, hour and a half, something like that. I always forget. I've been down there so many times and it just flies by. It's a pretty drive. So anyway.
Yeah. It's interesting because I don't normally associate the sound of Nashville with the sound of the Deads.
Yeah.
But then there's that underbelly of I think Karen Ellison, is that right? She's in Nashville still. Is that right?
She's still in Nashville. She came here, she was doing her thing when she was married to Jack White. And I don't think they're married anymore. I get kind of confused about all
I don't think so.
I think everyone's confused about that.
Yeah, because you don't know, like he did so many things that were like, I mean, I guess him playing around with like what his drummer, the relationship was.
Meg.
So
we Detroiters know the truth.
Oh, right. You guys yeah. And then like, I don't know this may also still be rumors, but it was like he was going to Tulsa for a little while. He's doing stuff in there and I don't know. So, but she actually came to, and this was also a pretty long time ago, but I got to model for two friends that make clothes, a girl, Leslie Olame, and she actually was like, her stylist or something. She worked with her, and so she came when we did a little walk with her. And there's another one, her name is Pony Silver, and she does Black by Marie Silver, and I wear her stuff all the time. But awesome. Anyway, yeah, that's
so she started.
I was in the presence of Karen Ellison or whatever.
Can we consider part of the Dead Corps, or
say that again?
Can we consider her part of the Dead Corps?
I don't know that she this was stuff. This is before. This is pre-Deads. But I mean, I see. I'm sure she'd like us if she knows that we.
How could she not? I would be very disappointed in her if she didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's power all the way. So yeah.
Right, that would be not in keeping if she didn't like you.
Yeah, and we're she's definitely into rock kind of stuff. So
I have to say this new record, it just hit me in all the right places.
Oh,
I think I even texted Heidi and said, the hard rock sound and then horns come in, especially on Loose Tooth. I was like, you sold me, hook, line, sinker.
That's so funny. The producer Matt Mahaffey, he did an amazing job doing all that. I played on one of them, and I think the brass kind of came up because I play trumpet. And I pick it up and put it down, but I picked it up. I was playing with a Afrobeat band here in town called Afro Cocoa Roots. And so it was like I was doing trumpet stuff, and when we were at one of the writing sessions, it was like, well, let's see what you can do with trumpet, and then let's see if you can play bass and trumpet at the same time. So we wrote it like open strings on bass, so I didn't have to, so I could play. And actually, trumpet you play with your right hand too, but I can do the mirror thing and like play trumpet. We kept it simple. I'm not, I guess just doing the two things on its own, but I'm not like blowing into bass lines with the bass line or the trumpet line, but we're doing it at the same time. So
no, that's like blowing everybody's minds. Like if you could hit two notes on both of those, let alone like a whole song.
It is very much just like rubbing your head and patting your belly though. It's like once you get it's hard, and once you get those like isolated, then it's easy.
So the first time you picked up a trumpet, did you ever envision you'd be using it in this way?
No. No, I was in high school, band, marching band, concert band, stuff like that. So definitely I didn't envision doing the Afrobeat thing either. And then I don't even remember how that came about, but definitely not in a rock with my rock band on tour, opening for Candlebox. That's when we did that. So yeah, pretty cool.
That's amazing. I mean, obviously being from Nashville, such a music town, everybody gets drawn into, people are either running from it, being from Nashville, or just full on in.
Yeah.
And you didn't go straight there. You've had other careers before you ended up professionally being a musician.
Yeah. I mean, to this day, I have a day job. I work for Bitch and Sauce, which is a vegan dip.
I know it well. Yes.
And yeah, we're in all the Costco's everywhere. Actually, Detroit, there's a part of Detroit that's like one of our bigger, best selling ones. But anyway,
sure. Probably near your house.
Yeah, it probably is my house.
But yeah, I mean, you don't, it kind of almost doesn't really matter where you're coming from. You don't necessarily expect to be in a touring rock band. I mean, even if that's your goal, you're not guaranteed that. Like you can keep that as your goal, and you can do whatever networking and your own, practicing, building your skills, building the songs, and you can do everything you want. And there's no guarantee that you'll get to do the things that we've been able to do. So there's definitely like a luck element involved, I think, and just right time, right place kind of thing. So yeah, I definitely did not imagine, and to this, like, we've got a Darkness tour coming up pretty soon, and we've been planning and working it out, figuring out our merch and everything. And it still blows my mind that we're doing that.
I was going to ask if you're still having those sort of pinch me moments of,
yes,
because again, your website has these insanely nice compliments from
the hero testimonials are unreal.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's very flattering, and I'm happy they like it. I'm happy that they don't hate it. They're not like, what the hell are those people doing? Get them off the stage,
But the fact that they're so vocal about it, like I would kill for Tom Peterson to say one word to me, and it could be "get out of my way," and I would still be super happy.
You would kill if Tom Peterson just looked at you briefly.
1,000%.
Yeah,
I love him so
well,
much.
Imagine trying to play in front of him.
Oh yeah, I'd lose
our show that the first time, and it was really intimidating. He already knew Meta. They knew each other, so that's why he came out to check it out. But that was also very early on. Like I maybe had been playing bass for 3 years at that point, so I was new on the instrument. I mean, I knew the songs, I was doing it, but it was really intimidating. And then he came up afterwards. He's like, just keep doing what you're doing, and just said, you did great. And I know that I'm not like a blow your mind bass player or any instrument, but I do have some skills and like rhythm and feel and things like that. But yeah, when people come up to you and say things like that, it's just, like you said, pinch me moments. It's really crazy. So yeah.
When it seems like, I mean, I was going to say, as you're denigrating your skills, it gets the job done. You know, you listen to the record, like it works. So that's all it needs to do in many ways.
Yeah, I definitely, I feel I can do that. I do that, and I can do that. And I think even, there's a thing with bass playing that less is more a lot of times anyway. So I kind of question myself sometimes, like, are you just being lazy? But no, if I start playing around too much, then it'll distract. And
please, Adam Clayton has made a very successful career out of just playing open strings for huge chunks of songs. So
there are some over the years. We actually, Meta and I we're in a Phil Collins cover band just for one night for like a Halloween, and learning that kind of stuff. That's one where so bass players can be doing a lot of movement and stuff, but I never really noticed it until, it's kind of sneakily, he's moving around a lot. So when I went to learn the songs, I was like, what? Like tuning into the bass, like, wow, he's just a chill song, like In the Air Tonight, like do 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 do, and then the bass is like dun 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 dun. I never noticed that.
It's true.
So sometimes bass players can be doing a lot of movement and it not be distracting, but a lot of times they do end up.
Sometimes you want that distraction though, like a
bass solo, or if you're doing that.
Yes.
No, and we should say we're not trying to put down the bass playing community at all.
No,
we love and welcome them all.
I love the bass playing community.
Yes,
they're my favorite community.
The laid back ones.
So it seems like you guys are just sort of leveling up continually. It seems like the Candlebox tour, the new record, now the Darkness, it just seems like everything's building nicely.
Yeah, and I don't know if we can announce it, but I think we have a festival that is we're gonna probably be doing, and it's like one of the bigger ones. We've never done a festival, with like the big, with multi-lineup, multi-day kind of thing.
Does it rhyme with Schmonaru?
No.
Or Schmedding? Schmochella? Just stop us.
But it's I maybe can, but I don't want to say just in case.
No, it's okay.
You don't want to have to answer that email or that phone call.
Right.
But
I get it.
That's a new, I mean, even to get the offer, that's new. We've been trying, or, wanting to get on those, but you have to hit at the right time. And for whatever reason, we haven't. So that's a new, for us, a milestone. And then, what it seems to be the case is once you get those, you get some more once you get in there, and kind of the same thing and that's how we started. It's because Hailstorm got us on tour really early. And it's almost like you just got to get your foot in the door, and as long as you execute once you get in the door, then more tours will come to you, because they see that you can do it, they see that you did do it. So aside from just listening to you, they want to know, are they at least, do they got it together? Did they get arrested while they're out there? Or whatever, like, can they do that? And and we sold enough merch. We obviously connected with the people enough that we could, that it paid for itself, because it's definitely not a money-making thing either. But
well, and you're so different, like you're so captivating and different with what you do, that because you're also not competing for what they're doing, right? You're not like stealing your thunder, but you still have your own thunder. So it's like the best of all worlds, which has to be fantastic for every tour manager.
It makes for a fun show for the audience as well. They mixing it up instead of wearing you out. Well, I mean, we might wear them out, but then the next band's going to wear them out differently. So yeah, we're very fortunate.
And can you talk a little bit about the Deadcore? Because it seems like not every band has that set of loyal followers.
Oh my gosh, the best people. I think some of it is because we're unique too. But yeah, we have like a core group of people that they kind of are maintain themselves at this point, and their family, they help each other, and they come to the shows, they put the X's on, we give them names, and it's at this point, it's been long enough, it's like they're friends, we know them well, and they know us. So
other than yours, what's your favorite Dead name?
One of my favorite more recent ones is I gave somebody from the Boston area the name Shock Dead, but it's because he's kind of a card shark, and the shock.
Very nice. I like it.
There was a football player that he liked that had a nickname Shock Maine. So there was still, I was able to get the play on words going, but I also like kind of the like strong ones, like it's hard to think. Cyclops Dead is another one of my favorites. We have a one-eyed guy out of Atlanta, and he really I for some reason kept thinking it was also just like a prop, but yeah, and he approved it before I gave it to him, made sure.
That's awesome.
It didn't bother him.
Does he do the X on the bad eye or the good eye? That's awesome. I love it. That's super cool.
And at some point we're going to need to get our own names, but
I know
you have the ranks.
They can put X's on, they come to the show and they meet up, they meet each other. So a lot of it, it's mostly online, especially during the pandemic, but even pre that it was, online friends. And so then, they get to the show and they see each other. So you can't go to a Dead show alone,
Awesome.
I mean, you can go solo, but you won't be alone.
But you won't be alone.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
and you have
out.
Various ranks. If you attend 5 shows, you're awarded the title of private, lieutenant's 15. You get up to overlord, that's 200. Has somebody reached that level? Do you have overlords yet? Or are you still at colonels or generals?
I think we need to get back to that. Same thing, because during the pandemic of the no shows, so kind of stopped keeping up with that. But I think there's one guy, Dish Dead. He actually, his last name is Dishler, and that's such a strong name, and he already kind of had such a strong personal brand. I think we tried to name him like 2 different times and it just didn't stick. And so it was like, Dish, that's his nickname. We're just gonna have to leave it. But he's been to, I think he hit 100, but if he hasn't, he's close.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's dedication.
It
is, and it's always it's kind of a funny thing too, how since he's been to so many shows, I'm always pleasantly and like surprised to see him there. I'm like, you came to the show, and he's like, I come to all of your shows. That's far away. Like he travels far, so like there's shows that I don't even consider. I think only say like Nashville or Chattanooga. I'm thinking like only the people that are really close are going to come to that show, and then we get people from around the country.
Awesome.
That's wonderful.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
Coming to Detroit March.
Are we?
Yeah, end of March. The
Awesome.
Majestic, which is one of my favorite venues. I love that place.
We played Detroit, I think, with Bush, and it was outside Detroit. It was Dearborn Heights. Is that a?
Yeah, what venue were you in
It
Dearborn?
was Bush and Chevelle, and it was outdoors.
Okay,
Fascinating.
fascinating.
And that would have been like 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, there's pictures on your site. I was like, oh, they're in Detroit.
Mhm.
Awesome. But yes, end of March you'll be here, so I will be there cheering you on, earning my name.
Good.
Yes.
And you've played so many shows. I'm assuming you're at a point where you're going back to similar venues, or is it you're going to a different size one every time?
You would think so. It's actually similar size venues, but it's always a lot of new ones, and there's some that I want to play that just it hasn't happened. I guess the one I'm thinking of is well, now I can't think of the name of it, in Flint, Michigan. Like
Wait,
something. But anyway, yeah, there's some that are like legendary venues.
because Flint's near me too. You got to play Pine Knob in Detroit now that it's Pine Knob again.
There's so many cool ones, and we haven't played. But funny enough, we also don't end up repeating that many either.
Oh, the Machine Shop. Is that
Machine Shop? Yes, I'm like, here I can see.
Yes, the Machine Shop. Yep, that is a legendary venue. We'll come see you there too when you get there. You'll play there. You'll definitely get to play there. They just haven't found you yet.
I want to say the Darkness tour that this is replacing. I think we were going to play on that like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But at this time I got booked somewhere else. But also just in town, there's always new venues popping up just here in Nashville, and we're always like, can we we just want to get into all of them, just check boxes.
The Majestic crowd will love you. You guys will be a huge hit at that venue, so it'll be good.
Is it it's a theater, it sounds like?
It is. It's in Detroit. It's legendary, been there forever, attached to the oldest bowling alley in the world.
Oh, cool.
All in the same complex. And then there used to be another place called the Magic Stick right above, but that's not there anymore. But it's right in like the Wayne State University corridor, the arts corridor. There's it's a really good location, super fun place. Yes, it'll be good.
Time to explore a little bit. We like to do that when we can.
Yes.
I was wondering that because I know other people we've talked to have sort of used it's trite, but it sounds very true, that you play the shows for free, they pay you to travel. Are you sort of at that point where it's just like, God help me if I have to get in another van, is it still exciting for you? Like you said, you guys explore. Is that just...
It's exciting, but honestly, I do and this is more just my personality type. I do sort of get cozy here at home and just start thinking do I have the energy? For Candlebox, I was like, I don't know. We can try. We'll do it. But then, we started just all the planning, but especially say a couple weeks in advance, it's really happening. COVID hasn't canceled it yet. We really need to get our stuff together and rehearsing and stuff. And it's so much fun. And then once we got out there, it was glorious, and the energy was no issue. You get it back from the crowd. So
have you started practicing yet because the Darkness is a month and a half or so from now?
We haven't. We rehearsed a few weeks ago, but we'll be doing that here in the coming weeks.
Does it take long to get your mojo back?
No, it seems like it's going to, but it's almost just, once you just get it in your hands, then it kind of comes back. And especially just when the three of us are together, we have fun. And so it's really easy. And almost just when I started playing bass, I didn't know if I could. Meta needed somebody. She was like, can you maybe try? And there's just, once you plug in and you're making noise, and it's a lot of fun. So it makes it easy to me.
I know, she says, as we pick up our bass and sound like cats dying.
but yeah, as far as like I get at home, you know, and this is not just a pandemic thing, but of course we had a big block of time where we weren't doing anything. But yeah, you get into I get into my little routine and my little programs that I watch, and you just sort of get used to that. I'm like, I don't know, can I change? And of course, yeah, I can, you know, it's easy and fun. I keep saying those two words, but
well, those are
those are good
like
words.
the two best words, right?
Especially given the past 2 years. The fact that if that's your takeaway from the past 2 years, then go with God. Yeah.
There's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and anguish, I think, for all of us. But and I guess maybe that's part of it, is like escaping from that, and like, you know, going out with Candlebox is like, we're back. There's people and life and everything. So it was really good. But we also were in an RV for the first time and not a van. When you're speaking of that, and that just made all the difference. It made it so easy and fun. And we got to explore like campgrounds. I never really understood RV life.
Yeah.
And I love nature and the outdoors, but I'm not really a camper. I don't really think it's worth. You can go on a nice hike. You don't have to like
exactly
do all this stuff.
Yes.
So that's kind of where my attitude towards that. So, but then I'm transformed. I am fully into the RV life, and you know, I don't need a fancy hotel. Like just a quick shower at the KOA is fine with me, and they have laundry facilities. That was a miracle. We were doing laundry like, well, you do it any opportunity you can. So we kind of were like doing our laundry too much. We were like having to combine loads just because you never know when the next laundry is going to be.
Right.
And you don't want to be on the other side of that where like all your stuff is reeking and.
Yeah, no. Concert gear would not be great after wearing it several times. I had to wear it several times without washing it.
Yeah, so that was another kind of blessing with doing the KOAs and stuff, because they all have laundry facilities, and it was just a nice kind of pleasant, very extremely pleasant tour.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's like a good plug for the KOA.
Yeah, KOA.
To hang out with rock stars, and you might see them doing laundry.
They do be doing more of that. But
they might let you throw your socks in with their load. It's perfect. Load.
You can catch the Dead Deads on tour with the Darkeness starting next week, March 9th. For more information, check out their website, thedeaddeads.com, or you can find them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, where they are all at the Dead Deads.
You can check us out on all the various socials. Be sure to visit our website at rockandrollgradschool.com, and don't forget to leave us a review.
Today's show is produced by myself and Heidi Hedquist. Our reluctant producers are John Sauvé and Sandy Stone. Our willing producers are Rachel Allen and Randy Jeanette. Our intern is Zach Jackson. This one's for Philippe. Thank you, good night, and may all your favorite bands stay together.
Bubblegum gets nasty if you do wrong.